我相信在座的各位，你们都爱我们的国家、我们的领土。我们的家是丑化国际，比如说谋杀、贪污等等。如果这次我们不改变我们的国家，我们将会被外劳来改变。
That's right. And so there's a lot happening tonight, but with just some quick announcements. There's merchandise for sale at the back, and the only reason why I'm announcing this is because DAP and Pakatan Rakyat is a non-corrupt party, and all funds come from either donations or merchandise that's sold. So please support that.
我们的周边产品、各种样化的促销项目以及限量版的 T 恤，今晚所筹到的促销款项，一律归民主行动党的政治用途。
That's right. And apart from that, if you're a voter and you want to check on your registration details, there's a booth at the back as well that you can check.
如果你们要更确定你们的本身的选区是在哪里，我们后面的柜台你们可以有工作人员会协助你们调查你们正确的选区在哪里。
And the final announcement tonight, we're live on Uba TV.
我们今天是现场直播Uba TV。
That's a 24-hour online coverage of the elections, uba.tv.
24小时uba.tv www.uba.tv.
Okay, thank you for listening to all the announcements. I hope you got all that. And to kick off tonight, you have already seen some people walking in, highly respected Malaysians. But to kick off tonight, we have someone who is a remarkable person who fights for justice and equality.
她是一位追求正义、平等、不平凡的女强人。在2007年至2009年，马来西亚律师公会总裁，在2009年荣获美国颁发的国际妇女勇气奖。全球就是说全世界只有8个人荣获而已，Ambiga是其中一个。她也是 Bersih 竞选们的主席，要求干净而透明的选举。现在我们一起邀请我们的。
In English, President of the Malaysian Bar Council from 2007 to 2009, head of Bersih, the movement for clean and fair elections, and one of 8 recipients of the International Women of Courage Award. Now let's put a warm welcome and welcome Dr. Ambiga.
What a lovely, cool, clear night. You can see into the distance. But I want you to see clearly on the 5th of May 2013. Will you see clearly on the 5th of May 2013 when you cast your ballot? That's the day you need to be clear what the options are for this country. Ladies and gentlemen, your vote is a key. Think of it as a key to the future of this wonderful country that we all love. And that key is not any ordinary key. It's a golden key. It's the golden key to a better Malaysia. And that's what we all want. A better Malaysia. Now, I've been up and down Malaysia, maybe not covering it as much as I like. But I've learned a lot about Malaysians on my journeys. I have learned that they are decent people. We are decent people. I have learned that we are dignified. I have learned that we have a strong sense of justice, that we have a strong sense of right and wrong. That's what I've learned. And I've learned that Malaysians don't like smear campaigns and pornographic videos. Do we? No. I have learned that Malaysians don't like corruption. We're sick of it. Agree? I have learned that Malaysians are very unhappy about deaths in custody. They are unhappy about the young Aminul Rashid who was killed. They are unhappy about Teo Beng Hok. They are unhappy about Suguma, who still lies there 80 days later with no second post-mortem in sight. I've learned that Malaysians are truly decent. I learned that when I had those strange performances outside my house. I learned that we Malaysians don't consider that entertainment. I have learned that we were disgusted with the way in which so many people behave, thinking they have a right to behave that way. And I've also learned that Malaysians don't like violence. Do we? No. I have learned that Malaysians want a peaceful elections. And that's what it's going to be on the 5th of May. But the best lesson I have learned about Malaysians is that we do not fear anymore. That's what I have learned about Malaysians. I remember in the past, we would be fearful about who to vote for in case we lost our jobs. Not this time. I remember when we were silent about corruption. Not this time. I learned when we stood by and abuse of power took place right in front of our very eyes and we remained silent. But not this time. This time on the 5th of May, we are going to make sure that we shut the door. With that golden key, we open the door to a bright future and we will shut it on the corruption, abuse of power and injustice that we have all had to stomach for all these years. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Huh? That's your choice. That's entirely your choice. I'm just saying, I'm not running, sorry. I'm just saying that this is the time when your vote is going to matter. Ladies and gentlemen, we've received disturbing reports about the indelible ink that was used today. I will leave it to Iza to say something about that. We are also constantly receiving reports about vote buying. This is in the last few weeks. Vote buying, about violence, political violence, etc., etc. Smear campaigns. In fact, someone showed me a comic today. A nasty comic, of course. And I was featured in that comic. I was rather pleased. I thought, wow, somebody wants to draw me. But my only complaint, it was a nasty comic, okay? My only complaint, though, is that they didn't draw me very well. But you see, here's the thing. All these people who peddle this kind of nonsense don't know us. They don't know us at all. They think these things work. Do they work? No. In fact, they work against them. They don't know us at all when they try political violence and thuggery. They've lost touch with us, with the ground. I can tell you, I went yesterday to near Ceramah. I went to Yongping. I went to small places, big places. And all I see are Malaysians, ordinary Malaysians, eager to make this country great again. And we will. Don't believe anyone who tells you, don't bring change because, you know, you can have huru-hara, you can have problems, etc., etc. Don't believe them. You know why? Because that is something that is within our control. And we are peace-loving. We're not going to allow anything like that to happen on voting day. And you shouldn't be afraid. Because we are not alone. I'm not alone. You're not alone. In Bersih 3, 250,000 peace-loving Malaysians were there. We have never been alone. We have each other. One Malaysia may be a slogan for some, but for us, it's a reality. I see it right in front of me. I've seen it at the Bersih rallies. I have seen it everywhere that I go. We don't need a slogan. We know what One Malaysia is because we feel it. And we are also going to make sure we reject all those racists in our midst. We don't want racists coming into our parliament, do we? No. They may say sorry, you may forgive them, you may hug them and kiss them, maybe not, but you may. But we must never vote for them. We must never let them into our parliament. The number of times people have said to me, go home, go home. You know what my answer is? I am home. I am home. And what I'm going to do on the 5th of May is to make sure I protect my home, like all of us. And that is all Bersih is asking you to do. Come out and vote. Your vote is going to make all the difference this time. We know what's happening on the electoral roll. We know the media hasn't been fair. We know the playing field is not level. So the only way we can overcome all of that and we can mitigate all the fraud is if we come out in droves on the 5th of May. Can we do that? We want a 100% voter turnout. Can we do that? We have Malaysians spending thousands, coming back from overseas to vote. Are we going to be there with them? This is what's happening. This camaraderie amongst Malaysians, here, overseas, everywhere, has never been seen before. I am moved every time I go out and people flock to hear what we have to say. I am moved by the support that Bersih gets. It's never been about me. Bersih has always been about you, about us. That's what Bersih is, and that's why it has the support that it has. Now we are gatekeepers for our parliament. We are going to determine who walks through those doors. And please, can we have people who know what they're talking about? Can we? Yes, it'll be nice. Because I've been there, I've seen the way they behave. It is really embarrassing, some of them. Please let us not allow them into our parliament. So on the 5th of May, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to reclaim our Malaysia. We are going to reclaim our democracy. We are going to reclaim these elections and make them ours. Not by anything else, but by turning up and doing it through the ballot box peacefully. That's what we are going to do on the 5th of May. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me use a cricket terminology. I don't know whether any of you play cricket. But this time, this moment is ours. It is ours. And what we are going to do is, in cricket parlance, we're not batting 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s or 5s. We are going to knock it out of the park. It's going to be a 6. It's going to be a 6 this time. And it will be a 6 this time if we are all out voting on the 5th of May. Ladies and gentlemen, when you vote, remember, it's not just about the candidate. It's about us. It's about our future. That's why I called it a golden key. It's not just a piece of paper. It's a golden goal. Let me use a football term now. This is our one chance. That's why I call it a golden goal. This is our one chance to score big. This is our one chance to have the kind of Malaysia that we, as decent, upright, dignified Malaysians deserve. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you at the polls on the 5th of May.
Thank you so much, Dato' Ambiga.
感谢 Dato' Ambiga.
Next up, I think the speaker needs no introduction. So let's put our hands together and welcome Saudari
让我们一起来欢迎
Iza.
Yang sangat memberikan saya inspirasi, Dato' Ambiga Srinivasan, yang pada saya merupakan heroin bagi semua warga Malaysia. I'm sure some members of the Patriot supporters are also your supporters. Semua pimpinan yang hadir, Wabi Haniza yang bertanding, Puan Haniza Taha bagi Kampung Medan, semua calon-calon lain bagi pimpinan DAP dan Pakatan. Yang terpenting, tuan-tuan, puan-puan yang saya muliakan, Assalamualaikum, saudara-saudari, Vanakkam, dan juga pengliaman, Tajahau. Pertama sekali saya ucapkan terima kasih. Thank you so much for coming. It's so important for you to be here tonight because, as usual, if you watch TV3, you won't get a glimpse of either me or Dato' Ambiga. Is it? Well, I did appear for half a minute on nomination day, but before I could open up my mouth, they moved to the end candidate. But that's such is the reality of, for us, in a non-level playing field. The fact is, after 57 years of having Barisan Nasional at the federal level, they have let us down. They have let me, an opposition candidate, down. You see, tuan-tuan perempuan, bila kita nak bercakap tentang pilihan raya yang akan datang, tonight my message is clear. I would like to tell you that this general elections is actually our general elections in so many ways. Now, I started being in politics at the age of 18, and I will tell you that when you talk about fear, when Dr. Ambiga mentioned fear, yes, it was a very scary night when the police came to storm into our house and take our father. Iman's also here with me, and of course arrested him and detained him for 6 long years. But I will tell you what, despite whatever has happened, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that we've come to this point, the fact that we've seen so many Malaysians, regardless of color and creed, coming together, wanting change, wanting to embrace true multiculturalism. I am telling you, every single moment of having to go to Sungai Buloh, of having to brave the cannon, not just me, but throngs of other Malaysians, it was all very, very much, it was all worth it. So tonight it's all about that hope. Boleh bayangkan, saya pada 2 malam lepas berceramah. Kita mula dengan Ketua Polis Negara di Malaysia yang memukul tahanan dalam penjara. Tapi saya sampai tengah pergi ceramah di Bandar Tun Razak, ada pegawai khas, a special branch officer who brought his wife to take pictures with me. People, friends, remember in the goodness of individuals. Remember that Malaysia and Malaysians, we believe in a better future, including those who we think are with the government of the day. I mean, that's not much further from the truth. For me, as I thronged the various police stations, today is early voting day. Can you imagine, there are policemen, there are army officials who came up to us and showed us that parts of the indelible ink could be removed. It came from them. And because of this, I tell you, Barisan Nasional doesn't stand a chance this Vietnamese. Kita bercakap pada 5 Mei ini bukan soal pakatan nak menang. Tuan-tuan perempuan, you know, it is about having a future that is worth fighting for, having a future no longer colored by race. You know, we started in 98, as I mentioned, 15 long years. I was a lot younger then, I was single then. Of course, now I have 2 kids. Yeah? Iman is still single, but she has someone in her life, so it's too late now, boys. Jadi, yang saya nak maklum, 15 tahun berlalu, tapi yang penting apa? Kita sekarang sedar bahawa Malaysia, bila kita ada peluang, beri pada kerajaan yang sedia ada. Kita wajib, rakyat wajib diberikan 2 sistem, 2 bentuk perikatan yang berlainan. You know, what is so wrong about having free media? What is so difficult, for goodness sake, having an independent judiciary? What is so difficult with having a police force that addresses your needs instead of an idiotic minister's? So because of this, you must understand, for me, people ask me one basic question: apakah yang boleh dijanjikan oleh Pakatan Rakyat to ensure we don't end up as huri-hutu as the federal government? You see? That's how they say the BN government is. 16 years of persistent deficits, flip-flops, etc. Okay, and of course racial rhetorics and one word, Zulkifli Nordin. I don't need to say more. Jadi, apakah perancangan kita? How can you make sure we remain answerable to you? Ladies and gentlemen, my biggest request from you is to ensure you force us to fulfill our pledge. The first 100 days, we must implement true political reforms. We must ensure we return true independence not only to the Election Commission. Goodness gracious, they need to be independent. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, answerable to Parliament, and a true, credible Attorney General that not only knows what he's doing, but prosecutes when you are guilty. And as a member of parliament over the last 5 years, without true parliamentary democracy, you will not get nothing. I've prepared 5 private members' bills, whether it is the revocation of the emergency declaration, whether it's to amend the Petroleum Development Act so that no Prime Minister can touch and single-handedly direct how Petronas money is to be used. And of course, to abolish the Printing Presses and Publications Act. Despite the pain I feel in my heart, Utusan Malaysia deserve the right to exist. Okay? Although they should be prosecuted lah and permit revoke if they decide to continue on their slanderous mode. But having said that, you must understand, being fair, being open means you would have, as Pakatan Rakyat, as a member, a leader of the Parti Keadilan Rakyat, you would have to be able to allow for feedback, to allow for criticism, to ensure you implement and establish a listening government, not a government that forces you to listen, 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 listen. 7 times to be exact. 7 times, ladies and gentlemen, please get it right. So that is my message to you. You know what is at stake. It's not going to be easy. I am telling you, we're going to have a tough battle ahead. But as Dr. Ambiga mentioned, there's no need to fear. I realized what we should really be feeling at this moment in time, whether doubts on the indelible ink, whether with regards to the non-existence of a free media, whether with regards to the fact that you do not get access to the truth. I mean, if I want to go on and on about the NFC scandal, I can. But I have 3 more ceramahs after this. And I think you're quite well versed of the cow scandal. You don't need more. But the point is, we need solutions. So, come 5th of May, I am giving a strong message of thanks to all the polling agents who have made yourselves count, who have done your best to be part of history come polling day. I only succeeded. We can only succeed in the things that we can do by the support and collaboration of selfless individuals such as yourselves. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, we are but just one person. Dan kita ini adalah satu agent untuk perubahan. Kita kena faham peranan kita dalam hidup. So for me, I am humbled by the fact that there's so much support. There's so much showcase of love and understanding. And really, the fact is, you look around you, you understand that how many years it took us just to get to this level. So do not lose this moment. They will show many things. They will use many, many tactics to scare us, to ensure that we end up attacking one another. But ladies and gentlemen, please stay firm. Please make sure on the 5th, and of course the days preceding the 5th of May, campaign as much as you can. Without media, mainstream media, it'll be very limited. So I ask you, whoever you know, the neighbors that you know, you must ensure the message is propagated. Dan akhir sekali, bila datang hari mengundi, tuan-tuan, puan-puan, teman-teman, jangan sekali-kali rasa takut. Kenapa? Yang harus takut sekarang ini hanyalah 2 individu, Datuk Seri Najib dan Datuk Seri Rosmah. Okeylah, Dr. Mahathir, Daim Zainuddin, saya mau tak. The list is too long. But again, I will repeat this message. You see, for what it is worth, our battle are not against individuals. Our battle is for Malaysia. We couldn't care less about Mahathir. Nak cakap lah. You are of no concern. Your racist rhetoric, your attacks against Anwar. For